Dun, dun, dun.
What's up? What up, man? My brother. We back at it. You know what's crazy? I thought I envisioned this happening. However, I thought it was going to happen at my space. I thought it was going to be in Atlanta. You was going to be in my living room.
Yeah.
That's how I envisioned this happening. But the fact that it's happening at your space is pretty
The fact that you're in the wood again, bro.
Back in the wood. This is my old stomping grounds, too.
You used to be out here.
Yeah, I used to be out here.
In these streets.
Yeah, I really was.
Out in these streets.
Yeah. So when you saw Robbie Max, you probably saw me or Richie.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
We were just talking to Chris. Shout out Chris. What up? About
hey babe,
life back then. So yes, everybody who doesn't know, this is Brandon, Plan B.
What up? What up?
Honestly, and I'm gonna say this like not just because you're sitting here. I love you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, bro. Like I wish that life, dude. Life is just crazy, bro. Like there's certain, huh?
So life be life?
It is. There's just certain people. You know, like I love people. I love people in general, right? But there's just certain people that like make me feel a certain way. Like you know, you do.
Likewise.
You do.
Very much. I mean, your family. I mean, your pops, he just left here. Like that's. I spent so much time at y'all's house. I'm Planet at y'all house.
Your Planet.
Like, I'm him.
My mom. Hey, Planet.
Like, shout out Miss Padula.
Ah, the best.
Love you. Love you. Like, that was my time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, coming to your house, being able to create, and just, I don't know, there was a freedom of just being up here. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of, you know, just getting to know your world a little bit. Because you coming from Westwood to come hang with the knuckleheads in Bloomfield.
It took my parents a little bit of time to be like,
it's
hey,
two totally
sure?
different. Yo, it's two totally different worlds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As much as it's Jersey, it's Westwood.
Oh, it's two totally different worlds.
Yes, this county and that county down there,
Correct.
two totally different worlds.
Yeah.
So when I come up here, I'm completely, you know, it's like, oh, I am in Westwood. I am in Max's town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
I loved every moment of it. So
yeah,
and even now, you know what I'm saying? I still feel this is a welcoming space. You know what I'm saying? So it's always been that.
It's always been that. I still got to come down to you. That's actually terrible because that has to happen.
Yes, you do. You do. And I can't say that.
You can say
I'm closer, but nobody needs to know where I am.
Nah, it's
if
good.
you know me, you know where I'm at. If you don't know, then whatever.
No, but yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like the time. One of the goals when I had Richie come on for the first episode, which again, that wasn't even supposed to be an episode.
Oh yeah, it was very impromptu, I'm sure.
It was supposed to be an audio and video check. It's fine. That's Chris making noises in the background. It was supposed to be an audio and video check, and like we just started talking.
Yeah.
And an hour and change went by. And
I watched that whole episode too.
It was a good one, man. It was really good. And it regardless of what it did, like was it like for the podcast, like I needed that. We both needed it.
No, for sure.
But
I saw you
needed
get
it.
emotional, and it opened my eyes to a lot of what you experienced when I left, because there was a lot of things that I would get, you know, phone calls about. You know what I'm saying? But to hear you and Richie talk about, I was like, oh, I remember the bits and pieces of it, but like, oh, that's what happened after I went to Atlanta. So I was just like, oh snap! Like he was, like everything that happened. Like I was like, oh snap! He was going through some stuff emotionally, like, and just, oh okay, yeah. Because I think one of the last times, we really had a time to interact was probably before your son was born. That was probably at your wedding, I think.
Yeah, probably my wedding.
Yeah, your wedding.
Talking like about 6 years ago.
Yeah, and yeah, after that, I was like, oh, I missed the birth of the Ivory Prince. I was like, damn,
Ivory Prince.
I was like, damn.
Oh,
and
that's
then
amazing.
I was like, Max is his life is my son. My guy's a dad now. Like the whole, just watching everything unfold. You know, just being on the outside, being on the outside looking in when I used to be on the inside, just kind of looking around.
Yeah.
It's like I just kind of watched the evolution of.
It's crazy. So people that don't know, Brandon, we had our crew bxxb, and Brandon was a huge part of it. So that's like the context. So what we're talking about, obviously, is a lot of things that just to give.
We're moving around a little bit.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's free flowing. This is not supposed to be any type of planned anything. We're just going to talk, right? And one of the things, like going back to what I was talking about with Rich, was what came out of that was at least a little bit of closure. Like I really never talked to anybody about it. It's not like we haven't talked or had communications or tried to figure out like what business could we do, or I haven't reached out to you for something, or I used to even reach out to you and you talk, bro, be an artist. Be an artist, bro. You know, and, and I'd be like, but I come up with every excuse in the book. But no, it gave me like closure. It really did. Like at least with Richie. And then one of the things that came out of that was I wanted to speak to everybody. I figured I started this and like I obviously have an objective to do the podcast and all these people that I want to talk to, but it was like, it hit me, bro. Like, oh my God, what a perfect opportunity to bring a Brandon up here, to bring Dubb, to bring Tommy, to bring, Ryan, hopefully at some point, to bring the people, Brett, whoever. I mean, the people that played a part and were a part of something in my life, like a huge part of my life. Huge, like, and when it's crazy being up here, because nobody knows. Nobody even gets it. Yeah. Nobody has a clue. They saw what was on the surface, bro. But you're right. I lived two different lives for a very, very long time. Like as much, you'd see me in the basement, you'd see me at your place, and you'd see me at shows, and we would travel, we do all these different things. But like, you don't realize I'm coming back to Westwood. Yeah. And in Westwood, I'm not. They know I'm doing music, but I turned it on and I turned it off. Yeah. It was very interesting, but like I would walk around and be, Robbie Max or whatever, but you think about all the people that know me here. Yeah. Right. And so my family, especially my now wife, like it was crazy. It was two different worlds, two different lives. And it just got to a point where it was going to go one way or the other. And I made a conscious decision, like as much as it's not like I don't love or didn't want to continue to pursue it. Life came to a point. It was like, okay, you're either going to make the decision to be, a husband and go the family route, and you can still figure out how to do music, but like you're gonna pick that first. I never lived with Jen, mind you. Yeah. So like, and I just never talked to anybody about anything.
Understood. I mean, manhood sets in. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, manhood and real decisions, start to kick in. Real responsibilities. Yeah. I get it. I think everybody has to go through that at some point. I've had to do it a million times, you know what I'm saying? Constantly reevaluating, what's right for me and what's right for the future and what's right for my family, you know what I'm saying? And the people who I'm responsible for, I have to take care of, and I get that 100%. And it's tough too. It's a sacrifice, you know what I mean? So people still think that, I'm in the house making beats all day. Nah. Yeah. I'm running through my catalog now. Like like I'm not like what it used to be, me sitting in the studio every day, you know what I'm saying? And, mixing records, recording, that's not what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like music is something that is passive. It's so passive for me right now. Like it's a very passive. Even the process is like I have maybe 1 or 2 days of going crazy. Then after that it's back to regularly scheduled programming, dealing with house stuff.
Yeah, but you've been like, from my perspective, you were always one of those people like that, which was very cool about having you be a part of the thing that, I feel like I created. You know what I mean? Like you guys helped me create it. But bxxb is the Robbie Mac, B's and the X from Robbie Mac. Like you have to think of it from my perspective. It's like I had an idea to brand myself. Yes. And my cousin and myself basically came up with it. Where I think Richie wasn't even around at the time. Not first. I don't think. No, I don't think so. I think Ryan was in the mix right down in there. Like, so it's like slowly but surely just kind of was what it was. And so to watch you mind you come from that area. I don't come from that area. That's true. It's like everybody was new to me. Yeah. Right? I built great relationships. But you're right, I come from Westwood. I was in my world. Yeah. It became my world in many ways, but it wasn't my world. So like to watch you come into that fold out of everything you could do, all the people you could be around. And I got to know you, and like you don't realize how much I appreciated you being like the right people came into that situation in my mind. Energy, vibes, right? Because what I was going to say was you were always the type of person where you march to the beat of your own drum. You kind of
still.
You always, bro. Like you weren't beat by. You didn't care about the hoopla of shit and who and what. Like you knew how to handle it business wise or see it for what it's worth. but you didn't care to like what anybody thought. You just did your own thing. You always did your own thing.
Because at the end of the day, I got to go home and still make my own decisions for me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
I admire it.
I consider myself a good team player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the most part. I've had certain artists tell me, yo, you're too agreeable sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Which sometimes is it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. But ultimately, I put the music and the creativity first. You know what I'm saying? All the other bullshit can be the other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Let's create here. If you want to fight outside, let's go outside. You know what I'm saying? That's that. But right here, this is making me money right here. This is what's giving me peace right now.
Yeah.
And if you fucking with that or interfering with that in any kind of way, you have a problem with me now. You know what I'm saying? You have a problem with me now because I'm coming here to work. I'm coming here to get something done. You know what I'm saying? And I even operate like that now, even in just creative, just business space, period. Like I'm putting, yes, music, yada, 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 but it's business first for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about nothing y'all got going on the internet. It's business first for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I make money off of this. Even if y'all don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? It's important for me to make sure we see this thing through. You know what I'm saying? So whatever issues y'all having right now is not important to this 50, 60 hour, $100 an hour session. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you always had, that's what I'm saying. Like you always were very blunt. Like what you're saying right now was, as far as I remember, was always what it was. Like if you said I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, or that this is the purpose of whatever it is we're doing, it was that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have that forever. That was not my.
Understood.
Yeah, but I was a free spirit creative that just wanted to go and be everywhere.
But it worked. You know what I'm saying? I think
because that was what I.
Yeah.
Yes, it worked. I wish I had a little bit more of a business acumen at the time, right? But I think that was why everybody being a part of it is what was starting. Correct. You know, so like I felt like I didn't have to I could just be creative, go on a stage and do X, Y, and Z. You know, but you guys played like a very significant role in shaping a lot of the things that I think was on its way to creating something really, really special. Like I think we created something special anyway, but like it was on its way to creating something really special. And to watch you, Dubb, everybody go and do their own thing and be successful, that says even more about what that was at the time.
Yes. And everybody too. I think about that a lot too. Everybody, what do they say? Leaders, you find them alone or like something like I'm butchering the saying. But yeah, everybody that has come out of the basement, I find they're doing something incredible.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody. I was just in LA with Josh. Josh is DJing from the East Coast to the West Coast. Yeah. I have to hit my mans and be like, yo, what part of the world are you in right now? Like, like, you know, Wheezy has a store in Bloomfield. Like there's so much, there's just like everybody's doing amazing things. Tommy made this. Like you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's doing such like amazing things, like, and still, you know, at a high level of creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like this is I'm going off on a tangent. Musically, I've been to so many different studios. There's still not one studio that I've been to that has played any artist that has played the music that has come out of the basement ever.
Bro,
I was listening to records that Keith sent me today, and I was just like, these records are old. You know what I'm saying? To everybody, to us, they may sound dated. Yeah. They sound like he made them last night. Yeah. And I'm like, and I have records like that from you. I have records like that from Josh sitting in my hard drive right now. Yeah. Almost 10 years ago that sound better than the stuff that's out right now. My wife still jams to certain records. Like we did that mess in 2015. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like
that was a special.
Yeah, it's just
bro. If you would have had to be there and understand it, and it's crazy because all the people that came out of it, you know, I look at like the hip hop. It's gonna be people are gonna get mad at this, but like at the time, you know, I looked at I really looked at it, especially because I was just in it. But like I looked at the hip hop scene from like exit 154 down to like exit, you know, like no, I'm serious, like exit like 130. Right? I feel like that was the majority of artists that were popping off at the time. And this is no disrespect to anybody coming from the South. Like I didn't know. Yeah. But there were so many dope, talented creatives and artists that were coming out of that little section of the Parkway. Yeah. You know? And
Essex County.
But basically Essex County.
Essex County, you know what I'm saying?
Basically Essex County, right? So shout out to everybody from Essex County and your boy from Westwood. But,
yeah, of course.
But yeah, so like, but everybody wanted to be in the basement. Everybody. I watched the dopest cats, and the most popping cats who made music in a million different places and did a lot of different things.
And they would come there and they would get a sound that they've never had before.
And this is what was funny about Wonder is and why I feel for him. Because what would happen was he'd have myself, all these other artists that are part of the camp, right, begging him.
Yeah.
And then, this person would come in and now they're not leaving for a week. And then this person come and they're not. So Wonder was just Wonder just wanted to help everybody. Yeah. Right.
And just working. He just didn't stop.
But like it was a new Essex County artist every week that would pop in and be like, yeah, they got Wonder for the week.
Yeah.
I'll be over in
That's how I used to go.
I'll be over in a little bit.
But the music that came out of it was
crazy,
just undeniable.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
Even now, like I said, I play that stuff now, and it's just like I don't hear nothing else like it ever.
That's
and I don't just say that because that's my camp.
No.
Because it's like you can easily say, "Oh yeah, man, my no." And my wife has really good taste in music. If she's still playing a record 10 years later, that's saying something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And even not just her, just my sisters in the house, like they hear stuff, they be like, "Yo, can you play that record again?" Like they're hits in my house. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the world. I don't think people will never get it because we used to go to like platinum and stuff like that, and Jerry would play records that we haven't heard on the radio. Yeah. They're not on anybody's album. They're stuck at that studio and they're banging. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody else in the world is able to, they're never gonna get the blessing of hearing that stuff.
Yep.
Ever.
Yeah.
But we did.
Always.
And you know what I'm saying? It's,
but the fact that people don't, like we didn't even put out a lot of music.
Yeah, we did not. We did not. It was like it's sitting on dead hard drives. Some of that stuff is sitting on dead hard drives.
Dust, bro.
I'm probably snitching on myself. So listen, I have pretty much a lot of records from the basement. You know what I'm saying? A lot of records, a lot of sessions. Yes, a lot of sessions. Oh my God. Like there's records that I have, hey, yo, you got this?
Yeah.
Oh, send that to me just so I can collect it. Mellow records. There are mellow records right now that I have in my hard drive that I'm just like, nobody is ever going to hear this stuff. And
that time.
That made me the best producer, honestly. That made me one of the greatest producers and engineers. And I'm gonna get to why too. I'm gonna get to why.
You talking about who?
Just being around that whole being around Mello, being around Keith, listening to the music that they created.
What was happening in that time as chaotic and crazy and no sleep and partying.
Stupid era of no sleep.
It was actually probably the most unhealthy time of my life. The amount of Newport cigarettes that I smoked.
Oh my
for those,
God.
Whatever, like, bro, ridiculous.
And chicken sack wings that have been eaten.
Bro. But that project, if you know, it was one of the most unbelievably produced, written, crazy, bro. Like it would be a bona fide smash today,
right now. If it came out today on a Friday, for sure.
Today, it'd be like, what?
Yeah, like what the hell is this? It would turn the internet upside down because the music was just that crazy. And like I said, it made me a better producer. You know what I'm saying? Made me a better producer, made me a better engineer. That whole entire time, I think that's what sharpened my skills as an engineer. And
you were in on some of that stuff too, weren't you? Like doing some records?
Yeah. I did a couple records for Mello too. And that was, and the crazy thing is, it was from us fucking around on the iPad too. That's how a lot of our records started. He was like, "Yo, B, what the hell is that? What are you doing?" And he'd be like, "Wait a minute, dump this into Logic. Hey Keith, add this to that, and it become." These massive joints, and you wouldn't believe, like, yo, this nigga started. He was sitting on the couch and made this on the iPad. This was back in This was before I got married. This was 2011, 2012.
Probably around 2012.
Yeah. I've been using the iPad for a very, very long time in my production, but working with him, it took it like made like because they were still doing like dubstep. They was doing all kinds of
using
crazy
a machine, wasn't it called? What was it called? What was the app called?
It was iMachine. Yeah, it was iMachine.
I think you had all of us on that. I remember having it on my phone, and I'd be like,
going crazy, yo, going crazy. But a lot of the records that me and him created specifically came from that. But like I said, it took my creativity to a completely different level. It wasn't just I wasn't just making hip hop at that time. I was experimenting with everything. We were doing. Yes, it was trap. It was acoustic stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was, like I said, it was pop. It was It was a lot of this out of this world kind of stuff.
It was not. We didn't make music. The thing about the basement that actually threw like. I'll never forget going to the basement. The basement turned me from a rapper because I could rap. I was a rapper. I would go in ciphers and like mess around, right? And like the year taller for me was the year and a half that I first got to the basement. So I was first in the basement. This is even before I really kicked it with you.
Yeah,
right.
Because there was a time that I was still living in PA at the time.
Yeah, so when I went there, it was like 2010. I want to say.
Okay, yeah,
right?
That was around that time.
Yeah, about 2010, and then. Job brought me over there, and he kept telling me about his brother. And and then I'm learning, the part of the family and who the family is, and I'm understanding it, or whatever. And first of all, never been in a real studio, so that was the first time I was ever in a real studio, right? And I go downstairs, and Wonder played me 3 records. And mind you, it is the best part. It's like Wonder has been this mystique. Like I got to know Wonder, but he's one of my best friends. Wonder.
The monk.
No, literally, bro. Like it's almost like monk. I was so close with him, and yet still kind of like walked on eggshells around him. Like he was this a big to me was like this bigger than life figure for a he
doesn't see that because I used to tell him that in high school because I used to be like, yo, you were a platinum producer in high school.
Yeah, bro. It was also his aura. It wasn't even just the music. It was like he had this aura about him that it was like. I gotta go ask Keith something about shit. That's how I thought for a long, long time until
very much.
Yeah, bro. But he played 3 records, and Wonder at the soundboard, he'd be and I'm looking at the back of his head.
Yeah.
And he played Celebrate.
Okay.
Which when I heard Celebrate, it's celebrate like it's a holiday. And I'm hearing him like, what the fuck am I listening to right now? Where am I?
Yeah.
Right. And so
that's what it'll do to you.
And then I was so enamored. I wound up going back. And then I at the time, Clef was back and he needed a studio. So Clef was basically working with Wonder and in that studio for a year and a half straight. So my first year and a half in that studio was when we started to create Airplay the group. But I was a fly on the wall watching all Clef sessions, Jim Jones coming in, Slow Bucks coming in, you had Cassius coming in, you had Montana 300 coming in, you had all these. So from...
Yes,
bro,
I know.
I had 4 songs on MySpace. Like, you know what I mean? I had 4 songs on MySpace. And I'm in this place, I'm like, where the fuck am I right now? This is 25 minutes from me. That's like literally, bro.
Yeah,
and so I sat like a fly on the wall. And that's what made me understand music, like start to understand music and structure and everything.
You went from a rapper to a songmaker.
Went from a rapper to a songwriter. And to this day, when I write records, there's moments, many of them, that I listen back, I'm like, that's a Wonder melody.
Yeah.
That's a Wonder melody. That's a Wonder melody.
That's so funny. So check this out. Like I said, being there, just it took my creativity to another level. So let's fast forward. I moved to Atlanta, right?
Yeah, let's get into all right, we'll go back into stuff, but like, all right, plan B. Where you at now?
We talked a lot.
No, this is good. Seriously, you go back to Atlanta. I want to know about the last 7 years of your life and what you've been doing too. So let's start from moved to Atlanta and then what?
Okay, so moved to Atlanta. I went down there pursuing, just trying to get deeper into the sync world. I started doing sync up here in Jersey and New York. So early on, me and my wife running around New York, whatever, doing the just the networking thing. Ended up getting with the company and just landing a bunch of syncs, moving down to Atlanta, thinking that that's where the sync community was.
Why'd you think that?
Because that's where the movies were being shot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So let me put y'all up on game about Atlanta real quick. All right. The creatives are there. All of them are there. If you want to create music, if you want to get into television and film, yes, it is there. All right. 9 times out of 10, most of the music that y'all hear on the charts, it has to pass through Atlanta some kind of way, whether it be the songwriter, the producer, the engineer, it has to pass through, even the mastering engineer, down to the mastering engineer. 9 times out of 10, it has to pass through Atlanta some kind of way. Look at the top 10, top 20 records, 70% of it, somebody from Atlanta is on there. Okay. Fact check me, do whatever you got to do. All right.
I'm going to fact check it.
Okay. So
I never knew that.
However, on the film side, the back end of the film side, which is, the post-production side of things, it's not all there. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they're shooting everything there, but all the post-production, which is where they add the music, do all the editing and all the other stuff, is in LA or sometimes up here.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of found that out when we got down there. You know what I'm saying? So kind of going through that ringer and kind of you know, and I connected with everybody. We damn near bumped into everybody that you can possibly name in Atlanta. However, we just found out, as far as the Sixx community is concerned, they really didn't start building it up until maybe year 6 or 7 when I was about to leave, if I'm being honest.
Gotcha. Okay.
So a lot of the, you know, yes, I still got placements and things like that, but none of that stuff was coming from Atlanta specifically. You know what I'm saying?
More of the work that you were doing up here with people that you were working with up here.
Exactly.
Yeah, gotcha.
A lot of that work was coming from here or LA.
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
Man, when I first moved down there, a lot of people used to say, hey, yo, it's going to take you about 5 or 6 years to get your footing in down here. That's what people used to tell me all the time. He's like, I ain't got 5 or 6 years. I got 90 days.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, that's what ended up happening. When the pandemic, we moved down there in 2017, 2020, when the pandemic hit, that's when I started getting my stride for real, Started
Gotcha.
being in more studios, you know what I'm saying? While everybody was really partying in Atlanta, I was in the studio in Atlanta.
Was that relationship building, or what was
100%.
That's what got you to that
100%.
point? And it took 3 years of navigating a lot of
that and running around and doing stuff for free. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I was
people forget that all the time.
People forget that. Yo, internships, man. I was doing internships in
Yeah.
studios, and I hated it. Not to say I hated it. I didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was past that, but my wife, she was pushing. She was like, yo, go to Tree Sound, go to, you know what I'm saying, go to these different spots, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and that's pretty much what I did.
Because what people forget, bro, is like reliability, timeliness. You know, can you do can you finish tasks that you're asked to finish? Can you do them well? Like,
oh, you just described me. That's me.
well, no, it is. Well, that's why it doesn't surprise. But true, it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's like that's what doesn't surprise me at all as to why. For one, thank God you said that, because I don't know the feeling of being, because you were technically like you're beyond an internship.
Exactly.
But those kinds of anybody, especially people with opportunity that they can give you, or something that can come out of it that's opportunistic, whatever it might be. What gets them to a place, correct me if I'm wrong, what gets them to a place is seeing all that and knowing that when there is a dollar attached to it and there's an opportunity that is about dollars, that you're somebody they can turn to get it done.
Yeah.
And if you had to sacrifice X amount of time to prove that, that's the why you got the opportunity. People forget. People need to humble themselves in a million different ways. The things I've done for free in my life that have built relationships, bro.
Oh.
Significant relationships.
Very much so.
That if I, God forbid, all the chips if everything crumbled, I know I'll be all right.
Yes. That's a fact, 100%. It's records that I've done with people for free. Those are the records that I've got in place.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've told people
it's
all
lost,
the time,
bro. It's lost.
Yeah, I've told people all the time, there's artists that haven't purchased a beat from me, but they can say they made money when I produce their record, when I touch their record.
You also understood the back end. So if you see an opportunity, it's you have to, going through the experiences is what allows you to make those kinds of conscious decisions where it's not about a bag up front always.
Yes.
Sometimes it's about the back end, and in syncing world, I mean, the back end is what keeps you, the checks coming in, and you're getting paid quarterly, and people don't know. Explain to everybody real quick, because I think syncing is off. I think it's becoming more and more prevalent now. People are starting to become a little bit more keen to it, but it's still, everybody wants to be famous, right? That's what it's still. Everybody's so lost in this fame thing. But like syncing, explain what syncing is, explain how it works, explain what it is to have volume, explain what it is like in high level.
All up right now.
High level, bro.
That crash.
You taught you and Lofi taught me syncing. Like between the conversations I've had with the two of you, you opened my eyes. You made it like, fuck putting out records and trying to pop them off. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I shut that
competing
down
against 20,000, 30,000 songs dropping a day, and I'm going to be the one.
Yeah, I got out of that real quick.
Yeah.
But so Sixx, let's talk Sixx real quick. So Sixx is really the business of getting your music into television and film. Pretty much syncing music to picture. That's really what it is. It is one of those businesses that a lot of people are trying to get into now. You know what I'm saying? And some people think it's oversaturated, but I don't think so. I think I'm still of the belief that there's more content being put out than albums. You know what I'm saying? Across multiple platforms. You know what I'm
Always.
saying? Netflix is dropping something every day. Hulu's dropping something every day. And the thing about these different shows and things, they need more music than your average artist. You know what I'm saying? Some of these hour-long shows need 30, 40 pieces of music. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they're getting that from one person. Sometimes they're getting them from multiple people. And they have a budget that they have to spread around to these people. And with those budgets, sometimes it's a small budget, it's a big budget. And if when it comes to saving money, a lot of, music supervisors, they want to budget properly. So if they have a $50,000 budget or whatever the case may be, they don't want to do that they don't want to give that $50,000 for one song to a Jay-Z or a Beyonce to license that one song. They want to spread that out. You know what I'm saying? So people like you or me can get a $10,000 license, $5,000 license, $1,000, whatever for multiple songs we put into a show. You know what I'm saying? Your upfront fee, and then of course get your back in every time it gets played. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But the beauty of it is it's like one of those things where the gift keeps on giving, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not just your song landing in one show, it can land in multiple shows. You know what I'm saying? That's where I've had my success. You know what I'm saying? Like one throwaway beat has kind of, generated X amount of dollars year over year. You know what I'm saying? Aside from the couple grand that they gave me up front. So that's really the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? Years and years down the road, that song can continue to just have a life of its own. And
in today's world too, especially with social media, you got to think like
micro licensing,
a movie. Think about and I always think about stuff like, let's say a movie was made and dropped 10 years ago, and one moment on social media brings that movie back to life.
Yeah,
right.
Sure does.
Everybody that had a part in the sound, the acting, the producers, whoever has some sort of equity or percentage in some capacity gets another check.
Yeah.
And a bigger check than maybe what they got over the last 9 years because it slowed down. So the point is, the more you have out.
Yes, that volume too. That volume.
Everybody wants a home run, bro. Everybody wants to be.
Yeah. Now
it's true.
You're absolutely right, and I want to say, how do I put this without it being too complex? So I've been able to get placements at multiple levels. You know what I'm saying? From music libraries, from sync agents, and then dealing with music supervisors directly. You know what I'm saying? The volume game is really the music library game. Like, because the music libraries pretty much have all of the connections and the resources with your MTVs, your Viacoms, your Paramounts, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the people where you can get 30, 40, 50 tracks to, and they'll just spread them out to, wherever.
Yeah.
That's the volume game. If you get a bunch of those, you'll see 4-figure checks on a monthly on a quarterly basis, if not more. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you get one song placed in like a very big show or in a commercial or something like that, those figures can be a little bit higher on the upfront side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Especially for like a commercial. You're going to get paid way more for because there's really no back end attached to a commercial. But if this particular song ends up on an NBC or something like that, they're going to pay you X amount of dollars up front. And then as long as that joint airs on NBC, there's a sizable check attached to it, especially if you're with a certain PRO, because the value of it is a little bit higher. So
I've always wondered this because I've just been, I have my PRO and I never really thought too deep about it. Never really had to think too deep about it. It's just like my PRO. It covers my grounds, right? But like, what is the difference? Because I've seen you bounce around. Why do you make changes when it comes to your PRO? Why have you made changes? That's
a really, really good question. So you're referring to when I was younger, I was with ASCAP, and I got with them, of course, blindly because my aunt, God rest her soul, Tasha, she put me with them early on. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make money with your music, that is who you need to be with. Granted, I got my first check immediately out of high school. A little couple dollars. It was like off a song that, that was playing overseas. I was like, oh snap! Like this is actually a real thing. Fast forward, one of my producer, songwriter friends, they said, hey, have you thought about, since I was getting, I had already built up a catalog with ASCAP, as far as like the television and film stuff goes, and getting royalties regularly. Then my friends, they were saying, hey, yo, since you're getting stuff in television and film, you should, consider CSAC. I was like, well, all right, what they talking about? So of course they feed you, this information, like, yeah, they pay more, they do this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? But you never really gonna know unless you go over there and really see, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what I did, and the smart thing that I did, which I will encourage anybody to do this, but in the event that you do switch PROs, keep a portion of your catalog at your previous PRO, and then go create another catalog, elsewhere. So
why?
Because I still right now still able to collect off of those records.
So if you move everything over, you can't collect?
No, it's not that you can't collect. It's you. If you move it and it's not as much money as you think.
I see. So it'll kind
of. I will speak for myself. It makes me look at what I missed out on. Got
you.
Now, granted, I have about 400 something works with ASCAP right now, probably about 300 something works, if not more, with Sixx right now. So they're both generating, a little something.
Yeah.
I do have future plans to move again.
I don't know. Yeah. I only know of 3.
Yes, Sixx, ASCAP, BMI.
Those are like the 3.
And Sixx you have to be invited to. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Or know somebody.
Yeah, you're like exclusive, bro.
Kinda, but I mean, exclusivity comes at a price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes at a price.
Well, there's got to be perks as well for exclusivity, so I'm sure you're keen to that too, no?
Sure.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Cool. Next topic. Next topic.
See, I skated out of that one. See, I did that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. I felt that.
Yeah,
I felt that. Time to screw.
Yeah.
And all right, so what? Because there's a lot about you that I'm like. There is, bro. Like, there's a lot. Like, when I find out you're doing something, I'm like, well, why? There's got to be a reason. Should I entertain this? Because I'm serious, bro. Like, I've watched you guys set yourself up in a million different ways that I find to be fascinating. Because I don't think enough. And I don't mean that in a way like I don't think. I consider myself an intelligent person, a bright person, right? But as intelligent as I am here is as not intelligent as I am here, right? Because I am like just full force creative. Like I think creativity, branding, marketing. I think of all of that. I don't think of. And it's where the business acumen, I've learned it now over time, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around all of it, owning a production company and being a manager for artists and like all these different things. Like I have had to understand the business.
Yes.
And I'm still I feel so still unaware, right? I do.
The game is always changing too.
It is, but where you're focused primarily, you are an unbelievable creative. But it feels like you put the business first.
I do.
And I've put the business first in everything but music and entertainment. Music and entertainment for me in any type of arts or drawing or digital anything. I get so engulfed in that.
Yeah.
That I sometimes forget because I think I'll tell you what I think it is. I'm uncovering something right now, actually. I really think I am.
My son unpacking right now.
No, I am unpacking, bro. I just came to a realization, I think. Because what happens is like, same thing I just said about before, like everybody wants the home run. Mm. It's like, imagine, and I'm trying to say this humbly because I don't want to, it's not my ego. To watch yourself get into spaces off of your creativity and put yourself out there. Like I'm talking about like, being an artist and making music and putting it out to the world, creating music videos, creating a brand and selling it, and like watching it compete with people I've seen be very successful from a creativity standpoint, to an attention standpoint, to a brand awareness standpoint, like all these different things. It's like, I kind of have always waited for the right person, which it's happened now, especially with my Destination Happiness brands continuing to, turn into more. I've always waited for the right person to make my business. I want to know it, understand it. I don't want my mind to, I'm not that. I'm not the person who's going to fiscally wrap my head around all the various different things. I want somebody to do it.
Yes.
Because if I play my role, and that's why equity is such an important thing in so many people's minds. And it is to me too, but I would much rather, because I can create that. Like the amount of people that bxxb, a music video that people go nuts about, right? Yeah. Like I can create that. I would rather have 25% of that and 75% divvied up to people that make the business go crazy and be super happy as like I created. I don't need to be a CEO. I don't give a fuck about the title. Make me a chief marketing guy, right? Or like marketing director. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I just want to do that always. And when we sit around table, I'll wrap my head around it. I do not want to put my time and energy into it. And it's been it's a battle, bro, because I know how important that is.
Yes.
Right? But every time I I'll start going in that direction, bro. And I'll literally be like, in the midst of it, I'll look at the smile and be like, oh, I got an idea. And I just veer.
There you go. Yeah.
I just fucking veer.
Yeah. I can understand that. I can.
Do you?
No, it's bound. I mean, my only answer to that is balance. Honestly, you really got to have balance. And when you mentioned that I put the business first, is honestly when I first started making music, those were the conversations that me and my mom would always have. You know what I'm saying? Because I was engineering for her before I was engineering for you. I was engineering for my mom. You know what I'm saying? She, demoing her records, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the conversations we would have would be a lot about business. It wouldn't always be about creative. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody ever taught me business, bro. Like in my life.
No.
In my entire life.
And it wasn't just her. I had to do it in stages, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to learn the business of being a producer, you know what I'm saying? Because I was making beats, had to learn the business of being a producer. I wanted to rap for a little bit, had to learn the business of being a rapper, you know what I'm saying? Everything you need to know about the music business, that particular book taught me everything I needed to know. I got that book in high school, still read the various versions of it to this day because music is always changing. But yeah, that book pretty much, at every stage, even now in sync, you know what I'm saying? Luckily, I have a wife that, also, she's in the business as well. So we're kind of able to trade knowledge. But I've had to learn at every stage, you know what I'm saying? It's not just something I learned years ago. It's as much as I love to make beats and sit there and do that, there's days where I'm just doing admin stuff. Like literally I'm sitting at my computer, I'm registering records, not only for myself, but for other people, just checking up on, checking the different sites that have my music, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm literally doing damn near office work for 1985. That's exactly what I'm doing. Ain't no beats being made, no nothing. I got 100 tabs open with different music stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. Like, and going back to I don't want to cut you off. Going back to the having the percentages going to someone who can actually do the work. I do that with all of my music. I have some of my music where music library owns a hefty portion of the publishing to do the stuff that I really don't want to do. Yeah. I have my sync agent who is moving certain stuff around. She gets a certain portion of my upfront fee because I don't want to do none of that stuff.
Correct.
Now, but I still do it though. That's where the level, the upper level gets to where I'm actually talking to the music supervisors, the people who are actually working on the shows, where it's like, oh, now I get to keep 100% of this. But I went through
something that you feel is differently worth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's just like I do it at multiple levels. You know what I'm saying? There's records that I don't own all 100% to. There's records that I own 100% to, but it's like everybody is playing their role.
Correct.
You know
it's to me, it's the best way to do it. And listen, I'm not, when it comes to the business stuff, like I know how to register records. Yeah. I understand it. It's not like I don't know the business. Yeah. It's not like I don't grasp it or don't know it's not necessary. Don't know.
It's just creating the time for it. That's all.
It is creating the time for it. I do. It's like I do.
Sounds like there's always room for improvement. Like Chris says.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too, is that like for myself, the problem is not a problem. Well, kind of a problem. It is kind of a problem. I was talking about it with you earlier. When I stopped being an artist, bro, I was just helping everybody else. Right. And it's not to say I don't want to do that or help everybody else, because I love helping people, bro. It's like a big part of who I am and what
it's in your nature.
Yeah. It's like, I will never not do that. Period. I will always, always, always help people. Phone call, I'll drop what I'm doing. Like I'm built like that. I actually find it's purposeful for me. But when it comes to business, and then I'm doing it for other people and the various different things, right? Yeah. When you one moment or thing that you do after another, and it's not adding up. Like I'm doing it for you because I have an end goal in my mind, but I don't know if it's always aligned with whoever or whatever I'm doing it for. Does that make sense?
No, completely.
Right. So I'm in the end, it feels like one time after the other, I'm like I've wasted, not wasted because there's never wasted time because you learn, but like I've wasted my time that I could have put into myself. Because my passion, if I could put my passion into my stuff and do the business for my stuff, it would get done without any, I don't want to do it. I know it has to get done.
Yeah.
And I feel, crazy enough, bro, I feel like this is between the podcast and like even entertaining the idea of putting out music again and like coming up with ways. This is the first time in a fucking long time, bro. Long time that I feel like I'm putting myself first. Bro.
And that's important. I think that's really
I don't think I've put myself first. I have, but coming up with a creative way to almost not put myself first. So it's like,
you making up excuses not to put yourself first?
No, it's like I'm making up excuses to not do what's in my heart. Right. So like my passion isn't being creative, bro. Like my passion is, so what I'll do is I will help. Let's take Richie, for example, right? When he was coming up, Richie needed to get out there. Richie needed to do a lot of different things that he actually was probably the worst example because he learned from me and from us. And so like he kind of had a leg up in the game in so many different ways where he's a sponge. So he learned a lot and really he's taken himself. It got to a point where I wasn't doing enough for him, period. He was doing much more for himself. Right. And so we'll use him as an example though. There's a moment where when it comes to being creative to get you from, I love taking somebody from 0 to 1.
Okay.
Love it. Love it. Because I love that you either know what you want to do or have an idea of what you want to do. You have like, I want to be a DJ. I want to be an artist. I want to songwrite. Okay. Well, if I have you at 0, because I remember taking myself from 0 to 1, right? So like, I think I find it's like a weird obsession with it. It's like, I want to prove to you that you can. I want to help you. I want to show you that it's possible. I want to stop thinking about it stop not doing it ever. I love when I help somebody find it within themselves to put themselves out there and go be great in a way that is taboo, in a way that people didn't believe it's possible. But you know why? And it's probably attached to the fact that I did it. Nobody in my fucking life, bro, up until I went to the basement, nobody ever would have guessed I did music. Ever. Right? And so imagine I rap in college. Now I'm going down a rabbit hole. And it's about you. It's supposed to be about you. But I'm now, fuck it, bro. We're going. Therapy. These are my therapies. You guys are my therapy sessions. Go ahead. Two.
Let them cook.
So I'm 18 years old, bro. I go out of college and I'm fucking around. I go into a cypher. And then from a cypher, it goes into Lamont and Dan wanting to manage me because I'm entertaining. And then from there, it goes into, okay, I figured out I'll put music on MySpace. And from there, I meet Elijah and it's like, yo, come to the basement. You're dope. And then from there, it goes into like these other things. And I watched it all. People gave me an opportunity, but they didn't do what I've done for other people the same way. Yeah. Right? They gave me a place and then I had to go prove something. Yeah. Right? Nobody ever held my hand ever through the process. They gave me opportunity. Yeah. Wonder gave me a home. Wonder gave me a lot of shit that I'm grateful for. You gave me a lot of shit that I'm grateful for, but I had to show up there. I had to take your music and make it a fucking thing. Yeah. I had to take the music we did and did a million different things. I made you believe in me, not be one of those guys that just came to your fucking studio and made a song just to say, yo, look at it with your boys. Yeah. Right? I got on stages that did shit. So I watched it happen. Yeah. In front of my eyes. And how proud of myself I am that I did that. But like nobody really knows. I don't talk about it. Like you don't realize what that is for me. It's not about even being an artist. It's like literally from never doing music in life ever until I was 19 years old. Not a lick. To I'm on a stage with Waka Flocka and Machine Gun Kelly and I'm around your favorite celebrities and I'm on MTV and I'm on the radio. Like you don't realize, bro,
Yeah.
This isn't my mom and dad. My dad did music and stuff. Like, it was my dad. Danny was living vicariously through me because he's like, what the fucking how?
Yeah.
The fuck is this? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
He loved it. My mom thought I was nuts. But so like,
I still think you should have finished.
Yeah, so like, it's funny. Like, I have this wild empathy when I listen, when I hear somebody who's talented, especially.
Yeah.
Like, I hear it in you. I see it in you. There's something. I find fucking joy and it bringing it out of you. And then when it gets to the level and depth of the business and all these different things, it always gets fucking weird. It always gets fucking weird.
Yeah.
Literally always gets fucking weird, bro.
Welcome to the music business.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's taught me how to set up my company. Now I got to talk business, right? I can go find something in somebody and be like, I've learned that even if I'm like, I'll feel it inside myself. I want to help you. Yeah. Or there's an opportunity here and it could be very, very beneficial in many different ways, right? You're going to gain something. I'm going to gain something, whatever. But now I will not do it.
Yeah.
I will not do it unless it is buttoned up clear.
Yeah.
How we're approaching every level of this and what the terms are and all the different things. Like, I kind of just did things because I knew it had to get done versus really understanding the levels. And even more than that, why the fuck wouldn't I just do it for myself?
Yeah.
Again, when it was like I didn't have to deal with much, bro. My mind.
Yeah.
And my mind's in a better place when I'm doing it.
But in that time, you did a lot of battling with yourself too at that time. Too.
What time?
Like
the 7 years?
Yeah. Like
since doing me an artist?
Yeah.
Bro, nobody has a fucking clue. Everybody does though. So I don't need sympathy.
Yeah. No,
everybody has their shit. But everybody, bro.
And I mean, at this point, you've matured. You've been able to, you've been able to experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been able to experience it at every level. Being an artist, you know what I'm saying. Then also doing the same thing with someone else. You know what I mean? And you talk about marketing and promoting a lot. That is probably one of the most important things. Period. Aside from being an artist, like, there's so many artists that just that make great songs, they just don't know how to market themselves. You know
bro.
And the fact that you've mastered that, and you know how to do that for yourself, and you know how to do it for other people, that's something.
I think I fucking mastered it because it's subjective, right? So like, you can always it's not like you have the perfect formula. You're doing what you think is right? Yeah. So like, in the moment, you're doing what's right. But what I've learned is, for one, I never approach doing music as an artist or a creative with fear of putting it out. Ever. Smart. Like, bro, ever. Did I at times overthink the view count and the likes and everybody, yeah, of course, bro. Yeah. Like, of course. But it only motivated me to do another one. It only made me think like, okay, keep going. I remember when Instagram came out, bro, and nobody really jumped on it like that. But like, I didn't even think, if I understood the business of Instagram, I'd have 22 million followers right now. I didn't know how to capitalize and maximize on it from a business standpoint in so many different ways. I didn't think of it the way I should have. There's so many things that I think I could have done differently now looking back. But how I thought of it was, here's a place, especially because at the time it would come out chronologically, everything you posted. Yeah. So I'd be like, all right, I want to be seen, want to be heard, period. I knew I wasn't the best, especially at the time, musically and all that. I learned how to make music. I got to like a pretty thing level. And that's still like, I've gotten 10 times better than that.
Yeah.
So you're going to see me 3 times a day. That was my thinking. Nothing more, nothing less. So I didn't give a fuck how the picture looked. I didn't give a fuck how the video looked. At the time, it was like, you're going to see me 3 times a day. And whether you like me, you don't, you're going to talk about me in a positive or negative light, and you're going to talk about me. And that's fucking a win. Because in a year from now, when you talk bad about me, I'm going to be further along, and I'm going to make you question why you talk bad about me. And if you liked me, I got a fan. So like, that was literally my thinking.
And that's what they're preaching right now.
And that's what made me, because I had to be creative, polish my understanding branding and marketing and various different things. Like, that's what made me polish up my skills. But the mindset is what I try to drill to anybody that I talk to. It's like, what are you fucking afraid of? Or why do you think you're just going to pop off? The same kids that pop off like on social media and go viral are the ones that, I don't give a shit. All the comments could talk all that shit. Whack this, dot that, but that. You know what they either have an undeniable idea and plan that they know and they're going to execute, or they're so not focused on a plan and they're having fun and they just believe whatever it is that they're doing, but they're wildly consistent.
Yes, that was it.
And then what happens when you have 100,000 million followers? Like, what happens then? I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Now you can go, now it's a business.
Yeah.
And you better figure out what to do with the business. You better figure out how to actually make it a business, because that's digital currency. It's not actually paying your bills. Yeah. Some of it can. I think what I'm trying to get at as a whole is my passion and my heart and my soul and everything that I'm looking to accomplish in life, bro. It's like, it's got to be very focused on what I want and what I believe in myself.
Fair. And
what I think that I can do. And as much as I want to help and do all these other things, like sometimes I'm letting myself down. And honestly, even though they're getting something out of it, whoever it is that I'm working with or whatever it is I'm doing, like I might be letting you down too. I might be helping you, giving you nuggets. But if I'm going too deep into the business stuff and doing all that stuff, like maybe I'm letting you down.
Could be handicapping a person. You know what I'm
saying? Maybe not in the moment. Maybe not in the moment, but if I'm overthinking the business is where I'm getting at. It's like if I'm overthinking the business, I'm just trying to make it business and I'm trying to prove something. If I'm trying to prove something outside of self, then it's really, how's it ever going to work?
Yeah.
How's it ever really going to work? I don't give a fuck how good it might be for X amount of time. How's it really going to work? You're going to come to a crossroads. Because then I have to switch I have to switch what my purpose is.
You definitely don't want to do that.
Because deep down, I've always wanted to be a creative and always wanted to continue to just be myself and do my own thing. Like deep down, always, bro. Mm. Always. I was trying to vicariously do it through other people and other ventures.
Yeah.
So I would maybe bring value. Maybe it would give some sort of leg up. But I feel like what I've walked away with is wisdom. What I've walked away with is knowledge. What I've walked away is experience. I haven't walked away with what I think, if we're talking monetary and to get me, like the kind of value that I think that I should equate to dollars. If we're talking dollars.
Got it.
I think that's the reason why. To the magnitude I think my value is or my worth is, I think that's the reason why. I've always thought, I now more than ever, I'm pretty confident that's the reason why.
Oh, you're not done yet. I mean,
no.
We still got a ways to go.
No. What about you? Are you done yet?
No, I'm not done yet, man. I still got a theme song to place.
Yeah.
Yes. That's my ultimate goal. I'm putting it out into the world, but yeah, that's
where you do it.
That's where I'm at right now. That's the ultimate goal. I mean, I'm gonna get placements forever. You know what I mean? It's really never gonna stop. I'm not just saying that, but yeah, sync it's never gonna stop. Even with the Tyler Perry stuff, I haven't scored a season since season 5, and they in season 8 now. They still using my music.
That's dope.
So it's not gonna stop.
Yeah, but you know why too? Because going back to what we were talking about before, like you're reliable. You build relationships.
Always.
I
mean, I used to hate when people say when I used to go to these conferences. And the question used to always be, hey, how do you make it to the next level in the music business? Or, they always ask that question. Yeah, how do you make it in the music business? And that one person would be up there and they say, networking.
Yeah.
And everybody in the room is looking at each other like no.
I'm here doing that right now.
Yeah, but ultimately that's really what it is. You know
what
I'm saying? That's really what it is. And
it's
always meeting that one person. Because you never know where people end up, man. You never really know where people end up. And that's one thing I wish I did more in high school, because a lot of people in my high school, especially from West Orange, oh my God, those people, they've gone on to work directly for Jay-Z at Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people have gone on to be at Viacom and all these random places. You know what I'm saying? Spotify, all these. And it's like, damn, I wish I built a relationship with them, prior to,
But if you look at it like what you do, I know you do, but like the right way, like the way the universe works is like you not knowing that and not doing it is what you're supposed to take from it.
Yeah,
it is.
That's true. That's a fact.
It is without question. Because if you harp on it and you're like, God, what? Like if we all sitting at what could have been. Like we just went down a rabbit hole during the break of like my whole life in the last fucking 70. It would have been it is a podcast
by itself,
and it'll maybe one day. I'll really open up. I'll probably do the thing by my fucking self. Or maybe with my wife on the other hand, just no.
No,
but no.
Yeah.
No, what were you gonna say?
Nah, ultimately, yeah. I was trying to bring it back to what we were talking about earlier, just about experiences and how they kind of just shaped us to who we are now. Because I earlier I mentioned about being at the basement and even just kind of being around you and engineering and things like that. When I moved to Atlanta, if we fast forward to everything that I did, in Atlanta, from just the Sixx stuff and everything, one of the calls I got was from Fox. Ended up doing songwriting camp for Fox, and that was my first time ever doing a songwriting camp. Like, I'd never been a part of it. I just heard of people's experiences and things like that, but ended up bringing my guys to this writing camp, and pretty much they had a lot of prolific songwriters there. Tisha Campbell was there. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her.
I did know the name,
but
yeah,
she's why am I drawing a blank? From Martin.
The theme song?
No, yeah.
The name.
Exactly.
Gina?
Gina, yes. So Gina, yes. So she was there. She's also
I should know that. You should know that.
I should know that. I just
by the way.
Like, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, she was there, you know what I'm saying? She's a prolific songwriter, singer-songwriter, you know what I'm saying, in her own right. But ultimately what I was getting at was when they brought me in there, I brought, my two artists with me, and everybody else that they put in rooms, they gave everybody their own engineer.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only person that didn't have an engineer in my room.
Why?
If I'm being honest, I don't know why, but now I know why. Because I was self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? I was the only producer that could produce, engineer, and pretty much control the room. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's other, I had my boys go scope it out. Like, yo, can you tell me what staffers is in these other rooms? And everybody had an intern or some staffer in there working the board. I was the only one. We had T.I.'s room. We had his main room in his studio.
Yeah.
And I had control over the whole shit.
Wow.
But like I said, learning how to be in the room years ago and controlling a room bought me.
Yeah.
So it's just and I did everything that Keith, everything that we do when we in the studio is create the beat, write the song from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I came there prepared, you know what I'm saying? But there the second day I was there, I had to create that shit from scratch.
You have to be ready to adjust. You're limited otherwise.
Facts.
Like, you can go make 20 beats and bring them to the studio.
Yeah.
But what if you get through those 20 beats and it's not hitting? What do you do? How do you make the adjustment? Can you add this, that, and a third? What if there's somebody else in the room who happens to walk in who's an executive who's overseeing everything, says, and you can't in that moment. You know what they're going to do? Walk into the other room.
They're going to walk to the other room.
You just missed that opportunity.
Yeah. So that's the thing. When they came to our room, they were stuck in there.
It's probably fascinating. It's probably a breath of fresh air. Like, I know how you operate and work, bro. Like, the best part about it, what's funny is, like, all I ever knew was that. I wasn't send me a beat guy.
That's
I
true.
never was a send me a beat guy. Ever. It was just not how, it wasn't. You play me some beats and stuff like that, and don't get me wrong, like, we'd have those moments, but we'd sit and we'd listen to a bunch of records and we'd feel an energy of a room. That was always the thing, and we would add to it, or we would, and what was cool, and I pride myself in this as a songwriter and as an artist, like, Chris could be in a room. I want every idea. I want if you're gonna be in a room, I'm not the one like, nah, I'll tell you no if I don't think it's right for me.
Yeah.
But I hope you don't take it personal, because I'm also going to be the person that if you say from left field or are singing a harmony in the background from left field, because you're in your own little world, I hear that. I'm like, that's literally how I ever heard Nate on a mic.
Oh, wow.
Nate came to 4 sessions, never said a word for the first 3. And not a peep. I'm in his room, like, he sent me a DM and him singing, and I was like, oh my God. I was laying in bed with Jen. I was like, oh my God. And she was like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, this kid, he is sick. He's like, I always want to do music. So I bring him to the session. I'm working with Wanda on a song called Wrong Side of the Bed. And I'm cutting it. And it takes me a little while to cut a singing record. I'm not I gotta get my mind right, So I'm like, the 4th day in, we're almost done. Basically done with the song. And Nate's in the background, and I hear him singing a harmony, like, out of left field. For the first time he opened his mouth. I swear. And me and Wonder looked at each other and we were like, hey, yo, go in the booth. Go lay that down. Right? And again, just the way we all operate, it's like, we'll give you a piece of pub. Like, who gives a shit? It'd be a great look for you if this song does anything. We were really high on the song.
Yeah.
Bro, the second I heard him on a mic. You'll never forget me and Wonder, bro. We hear him on a mic at the same time, right? If I'm Wonder and you're me, we just like looked at each other and we just start laughing. Like, wait, what? Never been in a studio. Never been in a recording booth. So he finishes the harmony So he finishes the harmony. And while he's doing it, I pull out my phone. I have all the lyrics. He had been listening to the song enough over the last 4 days. So he walks out and I meet him at the booth door. So we got 10 minutes left. Can you do the whole song?
Shit.
10 minutes. Whole song. And me and Wonder drove home and listened to the song on repeat.
His version.
I have not listened to my version since. This is 5 years ago. And I listened to the song a lot.
That's crazy.
Bro, I'll play it for you later.
That's crazy.
It is actually, you know what? I'm going to send it to you. Can I send it to you? Bro. I'm not going to send you my version, even though it would probably be worth listening to.
I'm going to say email it to me.
Bro. First time, I'm going to email it to you. First time he ever stepped into a booth, bro. And I had the song written, everything ready to go.
Email it to me.
Yep, I'm going to email it to you. Bro, I'll never forget this. And that was when me and Wonder were walking around. I'm going to play you the original because he recut it. But this is the first time he ever stepped into a booth. Me and Wonder drove home. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I know Wonder's going to want to be in on this deal. I already know. We're going to have to figure this one out. And at the same time, it was like, I also know Wonder probably going to, not come up here for a while. So let me just ride this out and see how it goes.
Yeah. Get it while you got him.
Get it while I got him. All right, I just sent it to you. Boom. So, first time ever being in a booth. And then what's crazy is I start like managing Nate, and we had 7 songs, and I start shopping it around to people early, and the runners who produce like the runners caught wind of it through my buddy Josh Wynn, right? Friend of mine, like in super talented A&R, like understood manager, great. He's to manage Titus.
Timmy Titus, yeah.
And he sent it to the runners. Runners flew up here. One of them flew up here from Andrew. I haven't talked to Andrew in a minute. Flew up here, and then he would have been signed to the runners. I would have taken the 10%. I would have taken a split on the management, and I got headstrong. Realistically, I got headstrong. I was like, I know this business. I want my piece. And they just never sent the contract, but they wanted to sign him. And a whole other thing, like what could have been, who knows?
I'm pulling it up now.
Wonder produced it. I wrote it. No, stop. So this is my version. Play it. Here's my version.
This ain't easy for either of us. Need to close this distance. FaceTime with your mom. I know you need reassurance. Writing songs on you alone. Everything ain't perfect. I didn't mean to yell when you asked me how I feel. You told me the truth and I had to swallow the pill. All of our problems are all in my head. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But you shut down when I need you on. You're all a tough and all of our problems are all in my head. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Side of the bed.
So this is a rough version of it. This is the first. This must be the first take. Let me see if this is let me hear something real quick. All right, so I think this might be Nate. Hold on. So that's me singing it, and eventually I got it polished to a degree, but like,
okay,
I was trying to place it. The idea was like, oh my god, this is a banger. This is a joint.
No, it's definitely it's one of those. I'm downloading the other one.
Oh boy, I think I just sent it to him. And then he recut it, and it's like even better. And I used to fight him on this too.
Okay, come on now. Wrong side of the bed. 4.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. First time ever in the booth.
What's wrong here? Why do things feel different? This ain't easy for either of us. We need to close this distance. You FaceTime with your mind. I know you need reassurance. I'm writing songs you wouldn't love. Everything ain't perfect. I didn't mean it yet when you asked me how I feel. You told me the truth and I had to swallow the pill. All of our problems are all in my head. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But you shut down when I need you on. We all act tough when we know we're wrong. All of our problems are all in my head. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
This sounds really good for him. This be his first time in the booth,
right? And so then he tells me, he used to drive me nuts because he'd be like, yo, I gotta recut it, I got it this, I got it that. I'm like, dog, it's good, it's good, it's good. Like, stop, it's good, it's good. So then I'm gonna send you one more. So then I let him recut it, and I'll give him credit. He was right. He was right. Because now he's polished and he's like, whatever. There's going to be 2 songs in here. And actually, another song he did with Wonder. You can play that one too. This is like the first 2 of the first songs he ever did. So these, at the time, I'm writing everything because I didn't even know he could write. So I'm writing everything. Wonder's writing whatever. And then eventually I started finding out like, oh, this kid can write. So then that's where it started to kind of, yeah, he started to find himself and whatever. But yeah.
It's taking a second to come through. Do you remember the first song we recorded?
First ever song? Ever? No shot. No shot, I remember. 24/7 I would have thought that would have been close.
Nah, it's this record called Short But Sweet. And we shot a video for it.
Yeah.
I can't remember where the hell.
Yeah, we shot it in Westwood.
We sure as hell did, I think. Download both of these. I'm gonna download both of them.
Yeah. So now you can listen to, and I got the girl Alexandra on it. So it was like the idea of the concept was wrong side of the bed. It's the male. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. They fought. Female. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And that was the idea. Like that was the concept. And we knew it would be big. And the runners, they wanted to put Cash Page on it.
What's wrong here? Why do things feel different?
He was right.
This ain't easy for either of us. We need to close this distance.
It sounds much cleaner because you had your background.
Yeah.
I'm writing songs you didn't love. Everything ain't perfect. I didn't mean it when you asked me how I feel. You told me the truth and I had to swallow the pill. All of our problems are all in my head. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But you shut down when I need you on. We all act tough when we know we're wrong. All of our problems are all in my head. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
As a person who's heavy in the sync world, this is one of those syncable records.
It's a syncable record. Chris, can you see the battery real quick? 2?
2%. All right, so we're about to wrap it up.
All right, we'll play some more music. Play that as we go.
All right, play that as we go.
All right, so Plan B.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too, my man. This was a good conversation.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. I think
we was all over the place though.
It was.
Yeah.
We were all over the place. But you know what?
Y'all got the gist of it. And I'm gonna be back up here. It ain't like this gonna be the first and last time I'm gonna be up here. Like I mentioned, I'm close, man. So y'all gonna see me.
Yeah, next time we're gonna take a deeper dive into your story.
Sure. But y'all see my story.
We got a little bit of it. There was a lot I didn't know about your Atlanta and what you went through there and the way how navigating your stuff. But listen, I love you. Everybody follow.
This.
What's that?
So I'm glad we did this.
We just need to catch up.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's it. So now people can see it. But you're my dog, bro.
Always, man. Always and forever, man.
Love you.
Love you, man. Destination Happiness, man. Peace, peace, peace.
1985 music. Peace, peace,
you
peace.
All right, know.
It's a celebration, elevation, no more contemplation, no hesitation. This my destination.